Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Unpopular Opinion. Today we're talking about the Elijah McClain case, our situation. For those who do not know about it, I am going to show a clip. As y'all can see, this video contains graphic content. Your discretion is advised. If you do not want to see this information or this clip, please return in 8 minutes, or you can watch it on your own time if you feel like it. But again, here we go.
Stop right there. Hey, stop right there. Stop. Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Well, okay.
Turn around.
No,
Turn around.
actually, your hands are
Turn around.
Stop.
Stop tensing up, dude. Stop tensing up, bro. Stop tensing up.
Let go of me.
Stop tensing up. Stop tensing up.
No, let go of me.
Stop tensing up.
No, I am an introvert.
Stop
Please respect
tensing
the
up.
boundaries that I am speaking.
Stop tensing up.
Stop.
Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to
Leave me
change this
alone.
situation. Stop.
Leave me alone.
Stop.
Can you please?
No,
We
can
operate
you
this, right?
leave me alone?
No, we're gonna.
First
we're gonna
off,
talk to
you guys started to aggress me, and I was stopping my music to listen. Now let go of me.
Let's get over to grass.
Lay you down.
Stop, dude.
Get up, relax. Just relax. Relax.
We got to
My name is Elijah McClain. That's all.
We're gonna use karate.
That's what I was doing. What's his name? Paul.
Right here.
This isn't that little guy, is it?
I don't know. So stop.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I can't breathe correctly because.
Move your camera, dude. We have the gun. No, he went for his gun.
Oh, my God. So he's walking away from us, and he did this thing. We're like, hey, dude, this is not a big deal. Just relax. And we sat there for a good 30 seconds just trying to calm him down. We're like, dude, hey, not a big deal. We need to talk to you. And then he kept doing this, and he kept saying things that didn't make any sense. And then I'm like, hey, bring him over the grass. So if we do have to take him down, we can take him down the grass, not because we're right here by the rocks. And then he starts going even crazier. So we get him cornered against the wall.
What's he doing when he's acting crazy?
He's like saying stuff, and he's holding his arms in, and he's like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying right now, but just acting really strange.
Randy, you need a relief, buddy? Randy, you need a relief? No, I'm good. I'm just going to pat him down.
And then over there, Brody tells me to try to grab my gun. So we pull him down
So
he pulls his arm free and comes out. And I don't remember feeling it because I was focused on him. But he said, "You're trying to grab a gun." So I'm like, okay. So he comes down, and then, go from there. And I don't know when this.
No, he just thought it was weird because he was wearing the mask.
Well, it is.
Gestures, yeah.
Exactly.
So
okay,
that's all.
I need to sure you document that part.
All right.
You draw
But so I initially tried, and then I was in a bad position. I didn't want to hurt his neck, so I had to release because I was behind. It wasn't like.
So you went to put it on.
So it was like almost like a schoolboy trying to get it caught backwards, because that was the only position I had.
Right.
Relax, dude.
There we go.
What are you trying to get?
Put his arm down here. And I could drop my knee right in his tricep. And you can't move.
And then
Sure, he can breathe.
Get inside.
He can breathe.
Okay,
all right. I just have his arm
I
behind his back.
understand.
Don't move your feet. Nope, don't do that. So if you take his
You good, bro?
foot and angle it outwards, he's not okay. At least once successfully. Okay. So
Okay.
stop messing around, man. Chill out.
Well, we'll just leave him.
You've already been told several times to stop.
I can't sense myself. Ow. Just leave him there until the ambulance gets here and we'll just
put him down to the attorney.
Yeah, I know you're busy, but I need to let you know that stop. We had a suspicious call over here on chill out. He's got a mask on his face, acting kind of weird. Nothing really criminal. My officers go to make contact with him. He starts acting crazy. They tried to handle him. He attacked them. Rosenblatt, he ended up trying to put a carotid on the guy. And actually, stop fighting us. Was able to put the carotid on him. They put him out. They were able to get him out of handcuffs. We're still struggling with him.
We got 500 ketamine.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Just rub it right behind his ear if he fights, all right?
There you go. There you go. You're caught up. You're caught up on what that whole situation was right there. As y'all know, this is the unpopular opinion. For those who do have an opinion, if you agree, disagree, whatever, you can always join by using the link to join this chat. You don't have to share your video. You can just go ahead and discuss using your mic audibly. Let me go ahead and share that link one more time. Yeah, it's not compliant, Yeah, so I've heard two opinions. I watched two videos on this situation. I shared them in my community page. And one was from an officer, which I've discussed on the echo chamber discussion as to why I listen to him. Not because I enjoy listening to him, but I like to hear how the other side thinks, right? How other people think, or other people's think. So the person I watched was Officer Tatum. And as y'all can tell, he's an officer. He's pro the blue line. He is going to find excuses for anyone's actions as long as they had a badge on them or police can't do any wrong, okay, according to him. Officer Tatum said he initiated resisting, he resisted arrest, and that's the reason why they escalated the situation and did a carotid choke on him and, eventually administered ketamine to him. And let me just state this. I don't believe anybody in law enforcement should be making suggestions as to what should be injected into someone's body. Okay? At all. They shouldn't be able to make that call at all. Okay? Yeah, he didn't resist. He didn't resist in my eyes. In my eyes, what I saw was a man walking down the street, listening to music. And as he said in the whole interaction, he was removing his headphones so he can actually hear what you're asking him to do. He was willing to comply. He asked the officers to comply with his boundaries, which he said, I'm an introvert. Please respect what I'm saying. Please don't touch me. I'm an introvert. I don't like being touched. And when I heard Officer Tatum explain as to why the cops did no wrongdoing here. The cops did no wrongdoing here. No wrongdoing. He says, you gotta stop resisting people. You have to comply with the officers. Fight it in court. Fight it in court. Don't fight it out there. And here you don't have him fighting. He even made excuses saying he initiated resisting. But as we can see, he's 140 pounds. This was released by his parents. This was released by the medical staff. He's 140 pounds. I think he was like 5'6". And they're telling me that 3 grown men could not handle or strain or anything to a 140 pound, 5'6" male. And somehow he got his hands free, loose, and reached for an officer's gun when he's shown no signs of aggression or, non-compliance from the get-go. being a cop is a mental disorder. Yeah, I don't get it. And the fact is that I don't even think they brought up charges on these guys yet. If the situation's changed, I'm not even sure if they brought up any charges on these officers yet. But I do believe they should. I do believe they should. They should definitely bring up charges. You know, let me find the second video. Because again, I don't like listening to a echo chamber. I don't like listening to some of these people who talk about it, and are just oblivious or ignorant to the whole fact. But it shows exactly where your loyalty is whenever people are being killed in the street and what you're looking out for. So let me go ahead and share this video. I'm going to share two videos here. First one, I'm going to show you the one that I do not like, the one I do not like, okay? And the reason why I'm going to show is because I like for people to understand where their mindsets are, why they believe this, why do they believe this is okay and other things aren't, okay? And I'm probably going to play about a few minutes just for him to get his point. I'm going to stop it. You guys can go check it out because, again, I just can't stand listening to this guy, but I do it just because, hey, man, I can't live in an echo chamber. This is Officer Tatum. As you'll see here, truth about Elijah McClain, the media won't tell you, right? Already making the assumption that the media is lying about what happened to Elijah McClain, right? Gaslighting.
Let's talk about Elijah McClain. This video is brought to you by Noble Gold. If the coronavirus has turned your financial life upside down and you 7646 to talk about the young man who lost his life in 2019 while in police custody. And if you are not familiar with this, Elijah McClain was walking down the street after, I believe he was purchasing something from a store. He had a ski mask on. The family say he's anemic, so he.
Hey, mygamepower.com. Don't call individuals Uncle Tom for those that you agree or disagree with. Those are for those you agree with. Uncle Tom was actually a hero in the slave days. He actually would help other slaves with filling their bags with cotton so they wouldn't get whipped. What you want to use is the term Sambo. Using Uncle Tom as a derogatory statement is a stain on his name. So you use Sambo, which would actually correct, who you're trying to, dictate there. So I'd call him a Sambo, someone who would turn in the runaway slaves compared to, Uncle Tom, who's actually there to help the slaves escape.
He's cold more often than not. And so that's why he had a hoodie and a ski mask on. Complainants or people in the area who called 911 said he was flailing his arms around. He looked suspicious because he had a ski mask on. They called in. Obviously, the police officers are going to take that call seriously and figure out what's going on. Now, they stopped him on the side of the road. I'll post a link to some of the articles here so you can watch the video. I'm not going to play the video here because then they'll ban this whole video. So on the video, you can see the officers approach him. They were very calm. They were kind. They were reasonable. They stopped the young man. They said, hey, stop right there. We need you to stop. You're being detained because we need to investigate it because you're acting suspicious, according to the complainants. Well, they hold him. They try to talk to him. They say, hey, man, please stop resisting. Don't get upset. Don't tense up. Let us get to the bottom of this and we'll let you go. And I'm paraphrasing, but you can look in the description section to see the video for yourself. He continued to tell them he's not going to do it. Let him go. He an introvert. He don't want you touching him. All of the above. They ended up getting in a physical altercation started by Elijah McClain. He physically started fighting and resisting. So they get him on the ground. Supposedly they use what they call a karate choke, which caused him to pass out. Now, watching the video, it's unclear if he passed out and came back to consciousness or not. But according to what the documents are saying is that he passes out. Now, based on the scuffle, the officers had indicated that he had superhuman strength, that they believed that he was on something. He was hyped up. He was amped up. I have been in these situations before. It seems to be reasonable for them to give him a drug called ketamine. So it wasn't the police officers that gave him the drug ketamine. It was the EMT that suggested the drug, and they were the ones administered the drug. While he was it appeared that he was unconscious or he had stopped resisting. They gave him the ketamine. He ended up getting into or having a heart attack on the way to the hospital. He passed away 6 days later. This had nothing to do with police misconduct. The police were doing their job. He resisted arrest. They held him down. The EMT gave him ketamine. Now, according to the autopsy,
all right, so I'm gonna stop it there because basically what he did was get to his point, but also honest gas has just joined the chat. Guys, as I say, if you ever want to join the chat discussion, you can always go ahead, click the link in the description that I usually, throw in the chat every now and then. Come on in, share your opinion. Gas is going to go ahead and get some drinks, some food, and everything else before he says his statement. But definitely, what I noticed about this video here, Officer Tatum did not show any video evidence, even though he says he has links in the description. And he also said that the EMT recommended ketamine. When the officers had Elijah McClain on the ground, the officer said, I don't know, he seems super strong. I think when the EMT gets here, we should give him ketamine, because, he must be on something. Okay, so that was the officer's suggestion, and the officer recommended the EMT give him ketamine of a dose of 500 milligrams, which was enough to settle a human body, basically, a horse tranquilizer, basically, enough for a grown man of average weight. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds. That would, tranquilize me. That would put me to sleep. Elijah was, again, 140, 5'6". Okay, so they did enough for a grown man, but not considering his size. But yeah, exactly. This in my opinion is a way to what is the word I'm looking for? To avoid all responsibility, But guess what? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing just fine. I'm trying to look up Elijah McClain's thing. Was that like recently?
It happened in 2019.
Because it sounds a great deal like George Floyd's incident.
We just played a clip earlier. I shared it on the community page. If you want, you can look at it, or you can even go to the community page where you'll see this officer's face here. And let me go ahead and share that again. This officer's face right here. You'll see his face, and there's two videos I put up. His video, again, like 5 minutes of him just explaining as to why the cops had no wrongdoing in his eyes, right? And he also shared links, to the actual situation. And then I have another video from the amazing Lucas, who also talks about how you doing, Joe Cool? Who talks about the same situation, but he shows actual video footage, and the whole situation leading up to the police interaction, and basically, if you want to look at it right now, you can look at it. If you want to just put yourself on mute and look at it, I'll go ahead and continue talking with the crowd. If anyone else wants to join, they can go ahead and join in. But that's where you can find the links at. Here you go. So, hey guys, I'm gonna put you on mute real quick until you're ready.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let me make sure when I'm using these this StreamYard, it's very difficult for me guys to monitor chat and also I have to basically monitor two chat logs, because if you say anything that gets blocked on YouTube, I have to unlock it. you know. Yeah, crackhead Joe. They gave him way too much. As I said, like they gave him ketamine, 500 milligrams, enough for a grown person, to be, what is it, put to sleep, have a little nappy nap. But Elijah McClain was about the size of, an adolescent child. He wasn't super, big. He was fairly small. He was 140 pounds. So picture issuing a drug to someone who is 140 pounds, and you're issuing a drug that would normally go into somebody who's around the 190, 180, maybe 200 pound range. So obviously you're overdosing them. What up, Joe Cool?
What's up, guys? I just bailed in. I don't even know what the conversation is about. I'm letting you know. And my internet is shitty when trains go by. If I blink in and out, that's what's happening.
That's all right. That's all right.
So what are we rapping about?
We are talking about the Elijah McClain situation. Are you aware of that?
All right. Which one? I hate to be that guy, but I was saying so many. Elijah McClain is the one that got shot up with the shit, right?
With the ketamine, yes. He got shot
With
up
the
with ketamine.
ketamine or something. The one that they shot up after the. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. So
Peachy, I don't know if you saw went to one of them. I didn't know he played the. I didn't know he played the violin. I think that's what he played, and I think it was Brian cut the plastic. He was at a rally, and some chick started playing the violin, and then the police pushed him back. Another guy started playing, then another guy, and then a guy with a whole setup and speakers started playing. The crowd surrounded him, and then somebody told me, yes, it was because Elijah played the violin. I was blown away. All races was doing it too, by the way.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, I was just sharing a video of like, because I told people in one of my discussions, I don't like to listen to an echo chamber. Like I don't listen to strictly all auditors. You know what I mean? Because again,
agreed.
You're going to get the same information all the time. It's legal for me to do this. I'm standing up for my rights.
Agreed.
We can do whatever we want. Okay, I get it. Cool. But I'm also trying to listen to.
Did you take that oath?
Sorry, read that.
No, I was saying along with the things you stated that I hear the same shit all the time. Did you take a oath? Recite your oath. I hear the same stuff many, many times as well. So I like to go into outside sources.
Right. So I shared a video just now about with Officer Tatum. It's a guy that I really do disagree with. Like honestly, I haven't found many things I agree with him on, right? But I listen to him.
Damn.
Like, and I'm dead. I listen to him because I'm like, what's your mindset, right? And there's been situations where the Breonna Taylor situation, right? That's the lady who got shot up in her own home. He's like, she wasn't innocent at all. I was like, she wasn't innocent. She was in her own home on a no-knock raid. Like, what are y'all talking about? Well, so you're telling me there's 20 cops outside. This is his thought. So you're telling me there's 20 cops outside, and officer, boom, 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 knocks on the door, and all of a sudden you got your guns loaded up, and then they enter your home and you go bang, and you're supposed to be sleeping in the innocent, but you're the only one who got shot and killed. I was like, bro, he did not just try and stain this lady's name.
Hey, G, let me interrupt you. My internet is shit. I can barely hear you. Let me go in the chat where I can at least hear you. When I get upstairs in the apartment, I'll try the internet, see if it's better up there.
No problem, brother. Let's see if Gas has found it.
I was watching a video of the police officers. Apparently, they got in really big trouble for reenacting the chokehold.
Yeah, that's in my opinion, just distasteful. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they didn't look like they were making it for a serious thing. So, but but the similarities between this case and George Floyd are uncanny. It almost looks like he was, if he was in there for a counterfeit, then it would be an almost exact, same.
so the full situation that happened was, what was it? He had anemia. He has anemia, right?
Yeah.
So he wears a mask. He wears a mask during the cold days. Totally fine. It might be weird to some, but again,
Not anymore.
weird to some is, is not weird to others. I mean, other people may find that you wear the eye makeup around your eyes weird, but what's weird for some might not be weird for others. But he went to the store, 7-Eleven, and who was it? Let me pull up the clip because Amazing Lucas
Yeah.
got this down intact, right? And I agree with everything he said on this one. So I'm gonna share this one, and that way you all can see what's going on.
All right, cool.
Instead of me explaining, I don't like to speak for him. I'm gonna let you guys listen to it.
This is unacceptable. Oh my goodness!
I thought I recognized
the guys have heard about
I'm definitely
the tragedy that
demonetized
is
either way.
Elijah McClain. And let me just start by saying is that if your knee-jerk response or if your solution to this situation is simply obey the law, that you are close to human waste as possible. You are literally walking, talking, breathing human waste. For those who don't know, Elijah McClain, let me tell you what actually happened, because many people want to give you one side, right, and don't tell you the other side. Elijah McClain, 23 years old, okay? How all this starts, what happens is that someone makes a 911 call. Are you ready? This person, Juan, makes a 911 call simply because he believes that Elijah McClain is suspicious. That's it. I want people to understand that. Suspicious. That's it. Okay? The kid has a ski mask on. Now, here's the thing. The reason we come to find out he even has a ski mask on is that he's anemic. Okay? He tends to get cold. Now, here's the thing. This individual calls 911 because he believes he's suspicious. Guess what Elijah McClain did? He actually, there's video footage, surveillance of him going into the store with this ski mask on. All right? Now, if anyone's going to call the police, you would think it would be the person in this store, right? He goes into the store with the ski mask on, has a bunch of iced tea drinks, bruh. Buys the iced tea drinks. Now, there's one moment in the video where he goes in his pocket. Now, you would think, oh my God, he's going to rob the place, right? You would think someone who's scary, right, would think that this person is just going to shoot up the place, right? We don't know. If any person has a right to say this person is suspicious and to call the cops, is the person, the cashier at the register who is about to ring him up, okay, for these drinks. Goes in his pockets, going around, brings out his wallet. Nothing happens, right? Ends up bowing to the person behind him as a sign of gratitude. Apparently, the family says that he always does. This man is as harmless as a fly, okay? No suspicion there. But apparently, somebody sees him walking with a ski mask, and he's raising his hands. That's what he did. That's all this kid did, was walking. He was walking home.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
So there's a guy. He's walking with what's the opposite of north?
South.
South, yeah. He's walking south on Billing Street. He has a mask.
All right. Right there, I would have just dropped the call. Because this dude, he's walking on the opposite side of the north. I don't understand what that is. First of all, why are you calling? How did you get the number to 911?
Yeah, for real.
Right? What's the number to 911? I don't know. Little rascal's ass, man. I mean,
I thought you said Weast.
Yeah. So again, like I agree with what Lucas said. Like the only person who I would think would even like probably even think about calling the cops would be the cashier when he reached into the shirt, boom,
Yeah,
and like
that was definitely
even
one of those holy shit, he's about to bring out a gun.
even in my head, I'd be looking, I'd be like, the fuck is he about to do? You
Like,
know,
excuse me,
and
sir.
he pulls out cash, bam, 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 it's done. It's done. He
But
goes.
obviously he's been there before with the mask on and had to
Exactly.
explain it already. You know.
Exactly. But you know, that I mean, like that would put me on guard if you're reaching in like that with a mask.
Yeah.
What you doing? That's the only thing that I could see. But again, neither one of those people in the store called him, called the cops on him. It was
And
towing along
not
the way.
to victim blame or anything, because it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. It's that as someone who wears weird shit and hates to sneak up on people, I even wear a bell to make sure that my presence is known, so that people don't get I don't sneak up on anybody. So I would say that his behavior he should have checked his behavior, making sure that he didn't look so suspicious, because he did look suspicious. I just wouldn't say that's enough of a reason to call the police on him. You know.
Right. I mean, like even the call was saying he looked suspicious.
Right.
You know, and this was before the COVID situation. So again, like he's the only one wearing a mask. But again, like I say, it's like, you know, that's, as he said, that's no reason to call the cops on somebody.
Right.
Because again, like I say, suspicion is subjective.
Well, it was like just in the last couple generations, we've been taught at a young age to just call the police whenever we feel like we're in the tiniest amount of danger. You know, like a shadow shifted in the alleyway. Oh my gosh. You know, they're like, what is that? I better find out.
Yeah, and you know, I think I talked to you about it the other day. I was walking in the park and had my notebook, and because I don't have my camera on me, guys.
Yeah, you're telling me about this.
You know, so I don't have my camera on me, guys, right? So I'm walking around in the park and I'm sitting there chilling, writing in my notepad, trying to get some designs for artwork and stuff. And this guy, he calls the cops on me. He's calling the cops, and I'm just like, you know, I don't think he called the cops, whatever. So I'm sitting here on a park bench, writing in my notes, you know, and the cops show up. And I noticed that this guy's running into this little train that's sitting in the park, and he's sitting there and he's hiding. He's like looking. And I was like, that motherfucker called the cops on me for sitting in a park, writing in a notebook. And I was like, what a fucking pussy. I swear to fucking God. It's like,
it's the kind of thing like, what the hell are they watching? Are they watching too much TV or something? Like, what are you just gonna have to wear a freaking reflector vest no matter where you go? Freaking G-Tag? Jeez.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But I think I was on the phone when that was going on.
Yeah. I was fucking, that guy made me so mad. I'm reading Veg Beauty's comment here. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put that on the screen. I'm gonna get back to this video. I'm gonna go ahead and play it so you guys can hear the rest of this.
That's fun. Okay.
And then when I passed by him, he puts his hands up and does all these kinds of signs. I don't know. He looks good to you. He might be a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
With drinks that he had just purchased. He didn't steal, because you all know there's some black conservatives and some clowns that would be quick to get on his rap sheet if he had one. Well, look, in 1995, he did this. In 2006, he did this. Anything in order to malign this individual. The dispatch asks, are you in any danger? The person responds, no.
So are you or anyone else in danger right now?
No.
Has he committed any crimes? Is there any crimes, anything he's done? No. He is just simply walking suspicious. That's all he is. He's just being suspicious. That's all he is. Walking, not doing anything, raising his hands, whatever. He clearly had headphones on, right? He's listening to music. Okay? He has done nothing. This then leads us to police intervention. Okay. that they said, hey, I don't believe, he has any weapons. All right? They said he could be
mentioned?
No.
could be a good guy or bad guy, but you call 911 on him because he's suspicious. Not doing anything, minding his own business. Anyways, get to police intervention. Please come across him, right? Tell him to stop multiple times. Then eventually they get up to him and grab him by the shoulder.
Favor, stop right there. Hey, stop right there. Stop. Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
9 seconds after exiting his vehicle, the officer initiates physical contact.
Stop.
Now, I want you to understand this. What the DA, because the DA had an interview with Kumo, and whether you agree with Kumo on other things, it's irrelevant, all right? It's irrelevant, okay? He's just asking questions. And the DA says that, hey, the officers didn't know that he was just listening to music.
And then they try to contact him, and of course, he's got headphones on and can't hear them. But the officers do not know that. The officers think he is ignoring them and not complying with their commands.
That is a bold-faced lie. You want to know what the lie? Because it's caught on the body cam footage where McClain, what he says is, yo, I didn't hear you. I was listening to music. I was trying, at the time of me pausing the music, I was trying to listen to what you were saying, right? He doesn't hear him say, stop. And he even relays that to the officer before they try to manhandle him.
Stop.
Leave me alone.
Sir, can you please?
No, I want to tell you, leave me alone.
No, we're gonna
First
talk
off,
to
you guys started to aggress me, and I was stopping my music to listen.
And I want people to see this from the citizen's perspective. Because you have a lot of these OTLs and a lot of these clowns who always see it from Blue Lives Matter perspective. They always say, well, the officer could have, he could have had a bunch of grenades in the bag. You don't know. He could have had a beheaded monster in the bag, right? They always see it from this perspective, right? Because that's how they've been trained. Many of these low IQ individuals, that's what they prey on, because they can easily, reprogram them in order to follow this and just be, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, right? But some of us who don't have that luxury of being robots, right? Some of us who are citizens, we have to deal with some of these clowns. Many of them are bad apples. And some of them worse, don't say anything about these bad apples when they actually do bad behavior. To us, what they expect us to do is just deal with it. Just deal with it. Hey, just deal with it. I've literally have had a grown man said that he would be sexually assaulted by an officer if it meant he gets to keep his life. I would just keep quiet and let it happen. At least I'm alive. This is the type of thinking that some of these individuals, they have. This type of slave mentality, okay? And that's, I would argue, you've been conditioned thanks to the government, thanks to the media, thanks to what's, the laws and policy of what's going on. We've just been dumbed down. It is what it is. Now imagine a group of people just walking up on you, stop, and then they grab you by the shoulder, and then try to turn you around forcibly, right? Imagine that. Any other scenario, what would you think? Well, what the heck is going on? Now you have a bunch of officers, given the history of law enforcement and the nonsense going on there, just pull up on you. You listen to the music. Person's making some type of movement or something. He's like, you don't hear him. And then they just grab you and try to turn you around. And he tells them, yo, what are you doing? Like, yo, stop. Leave me alone. I'm going home. That's what the person says. They don't search him. They don't check to see what's in his bag. They don't do any of that. All right? They immediately try to manhandle him to the grass. And then they allege that a tussle ensues, that he tried to resist arrest. Resist arrest for what? You haven't even told him why you're stopping him. He's like, oh, we need your cooperation. With what? You just ran up on him, grabbed him, physically assaulted him, and then tried to move him. And he doesn't know what's going on. The kid doesn't know what's going on. And then they tussle him to the ground, and one of the officers alleged, oh, he tried to grab your gun, bro. He tried to grab your gun.
Officer Rodema says this.
Grab your gun, dude.
It's unclear from the body cameras whether or not McClain reached for an officer's weapon.
Oh, I'm sure that based off his voice, his inflection, his pitch, that he was really scared of this kid trying to grab his gun. Okay, that if it even happened to begin with, because they've been known to falsify police reports, they've been known to say stuff as a pretext for further violent behavior. So we don't have any evidence of that. It gets to a point where one of the officers uses a carotid hold, right? Kid passes out. In the meantime, he's on the ground. Throughout the video, he's vomiting. The lawyer says, if you watch the video, you know, when the officer said, yo, don't get that on my shoe.
What we see is officers standing over him. One is he's vomiting, saying, don't get that on me. And another one who apparently doesn't believe Elijah's laying there still enough and threatens to sick a dog on him.
At 10:49 p.m., McClain throws up a first time.
Stop. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I can't breathe correctly because...
Over the next 4 minutes, McClain gets sick a few more times. Officers are also heard multiple times asking him to stop fighting.
Rolling this way, dude?
Yeah.
Are you able to?
Legs locking up.
There you go. Just like that.
You're good.
Don't get up, dude. It's not going to be good for you. I'm telling you right now.
If you keep messing around, I'm going to bring my dog out. He's going to dog bite you. You understand me?
Do you think this is good policing? Do you think this is good policing? I want people to understand this, that I have seen officers with people with weapons who have tried to shoot them. These people have lived. Okay? So when people want to talk about, oh, we need different training. No. That officer had the same training as that other officer. Okay? So it has nothing to do with training. Because apparently there are many officers who don't behave like that. So there's something that specific to you that has no bearing or impact on other officers, okay? Because y'all both have the same training. So why are you responding differently to how this officer responds? Then you can hear on the body cam how they're saying, oh, he's strong.
So when the ambulance gets here, we're going to go ahead and give him some ketamine.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. Let's give that a couple of minutes. And then
Whatever he's on, he has incredible strength.
Yeah, crazy strength.
I don't know what he's on, but it's giving him superhuman strength. Do you notice how they tried to poison the well? I don't know what he's on, implying that the man is under some type of drug or some type of influence, right? Some type of narcotic. That's what they're trying to do. Already poisoning the well. I don't know what he's on, but he's super strength. 3 officers. I want people to understand this. 3 officers took this kid. And you ready? You ready for this super strength? This Superman that they took down?
5'6", 140-pound guy. 5'6", 140-pound guy.
That's who they consider, oh, he was super strong. 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, mainly because we took up a majority of his video. I've already shared it in the description. I don't want to take all his information, his whole video, but
he certainly made a good point on the. I mean, with the catatonic or whatever it's called, excitable something syndrome, they wouldn't be saying things like, "Oh, I'm sorry." They'd be, right? Yeah. Like he'd be acting like a wild animal, not apologetic. So seems pretty fishy. It's certainly this is the first I've seen it, so that tells you everything you need to know about the incident.
Yeah, this is the whole situation is, how do you think this situation could have been handled differently in general? Like me personally, I think whenever someone gets a call about suspicious activity, suspicious only being the thing,
right? Like,
yeah, suspicious activity. Okay, show up if you choose to. Show up. I don't care. Monitor the situation.
They don't have a duty to act. So like, I don't know. Of course, hindsight is a bitch kind of thing. Of course, they could have been a little bit more, whatever, this and that. Trouble is, it's that it happened and it's still happening. Like, maybe we could find a way to prevent it, but this is just, I don't know. I think it would have to be generational, Yeah. But I guess, people are always saying, oh, cops need more training. I take the stance of good luck, America. It's like, it's not about training. If we could put their feet under the flames until they stop, like weed out the bad. But, we say that, we keep saying that. That seems to be the solution that we come up with every time, but they just we can't seem to get them to get the picture.
Yeah, I don't think, as he said, training is not the issue. I mean, you get the same training as every other officer, and every other officer seems not to be doing exactly what these officers getting caught on film are doing. And if they are doing it, they're getting away with it.
And more training equals more money. If they get more training, they get more pay. That's government, it's like when certainly, especially when Trump came out, because like saying that, oh, we're going to get more training and more of this and more of that, and I'm just like, no, we're going to make another committee. We're going to hire more people to be on the government dollar to put people who are already being paid to be put in check. So it's just like, it's never going to work. Even less funding is bad too. I just don't yeah, I don't know, man.
Hold on, I think someone's knocking on my door. Hold on. But
for sure, I'll hold up before. Actually, I'm gonna go back and look at some comments here.
Nope. No one was knocking at my door. But yeah, that guy there was Amazing Lucas.
Coyote.
The video that we saw was Amazing Lucas, who's shown more detail into the whole situation. This is the reason why I don't just listen to like one group, one party, one anything. Again, you might find some interesting groups on the other end. And like, again, with the Amazing Lucas, I've seen a few of his other videos. He's very fair. He's very fair. Like in here, like it may seem like he's just like, oh, fuck the cops, da da da. But no, there's a lot of he comes up with a lot of facts, and he comes up with like a lot of points, to look at. Even when it's like an officer versus citizen, and he is taking the officer's side, it's like, don't do this whenever you're there with an officer. Don't do that. Bad on you. But you were saying something, Guess?
I'm reading the comments.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, there's plenty of videos out there, and I just hate when people try and deny reality. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to change someone's reality. This one, with the Officer Tatum, tried to make it to where, oh, he's a criminal. He was resisting arrest. He was doing blah, blah, blah. Right. Resisting what arrest? How are you resisting arrest if you're not breaking any laws? If you're not being arrested?
Yeah.
I really think there needs to be a case law regarding suspicious activity. I really do. I think they should really stop with like, okay, well, we're going to put hands on this person, even though we have zero idea of what's going on.
Certainly with the headphone thing, as a quick note, you should never wear both your headphones anytime you're in public. Like, I just want to make that clear for everyone, just to kind of avoid things like not hearing a car horn before you get smashed, things like that. I don't know. It's good to have your surroundings, to be able to hear your surroundings, whether it be police or anything kind of thing.
Yeah. But like I said, like I really think a case law needs to be brought up. Like if this goes to Supreme Court, I really hope they make this into case law. You know what I mean? Like suspicious activity needs to stop being a crutch for officers to come in and say, well, I'm gonna put my hands on you now, and I'm gonna escalate the situation so that way we do have something to stick, even though we had nothing at all, right?
Comes from the generations of telling everyone, if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't trust regular human beings to freaking make can't even trust police officers to make calculative assessments on people. It was like that incident at a Taco Bell, or a guy's taking his daughter out to a Taco Bell, and the woman over the phone is like, he's got a gun. And the dispatch is like, is he waving around? She goes, no, he pulled it out, put a clip in, and then put it away and went in. And that turned into man with gun in Taco Bell. So they called the Taco Bell, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? There's nobody in here with a gun. And they're like, they must be being held at gunpoint or something. And so they held up the place, and freaking, I don't remember what happened at the end of that, but it was all caused by the freaking person calling not understanding the Second Amendment. It's just a regular guy, Second Amendment holder, taking his daughter to freaking Taco Bell, and he was white too. So it's just like, it's freaking ridiculous how people can be like that.
Dog escape, call police, neighbor. Here's leave on your lawn. Call the cops. But yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I didn't read that right.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's so funny. Like, it's not really funny. It's just so ridiculous in general. The reasons why people call cops. This guy called cops because he saw somebody listening to music, waving his hands in the air, and didn't know the opposite of north. I mean, like,
and he's a bit eccentric anyway. I guess the certainly the heavy bow. He must be socially awkward of some kind.
I think he was autistic. I'm not sure if he was. I think he was on the spectrum. I think that's what the rumors were.
At least
I'm not sure. You know, I'm not going to say he was, but I think they said he was autistic.
Some social strange behavior there, that's for sure. But again, that's not a crime. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like, people are calling cops, and this is the people I think should be held responsible in this whole situation: the cops, the EMTs, the dispatcher.
Yeah.
Because for one, you got a call because you said someone's wearing a ski mask. Okay, is he breaking the law? And they said no.
Is he a danger? No.
He said
they shouldn't have even contacted him.
Right. And said, okay, so what is he doing? Oh, he's just waving his hands and he's looking a little weird. I don't know if he's a bad or a good guy.
Yeah, maybe
okay, well,
too much time on their hands.
It's like, if I was a dispatcher, I'd be like, all right, we'll note that. We'll note that and leave that there. Because obviously you don't have any, I really think all people involved in first responders and first responding should be versed in law. If you know that this is not a crime and you're going to send out resources to assess if this is a crime, you know, you should at least know there's a crime. Because again, he called 911. You call 911 an emergency line. You should have people looking into, oh, is this a crime? No. Well, I'll note it down, and if we get more calls, we'll have somebody drive around and look, not make contact, look, because they're doing things because they make assumptions that something's going to happen. You know, assumptions do what? Make an ass out of you and me, and that's all they're doing. Just make, you know, their assumptions are killing people.
You know what they say about assuming? You're an asshole.
That's right. That's right. You know, and I really don't know what to do on this. Do we write out to Congress, be like, hey, we need to start making suspicious activity a reason for people to, you know, just fucking do whatever the fuck they want?
That's a good question, mygamepower.com. Are dispatchers required by law to dispatch cops no matter what? I actually am not sure if dispatchers are altogether police officers most of the time. I know that they have a lot of, like, the police have a huge following, guys. I want you to be clear about this, is that they have followers that volunteer their time. Here in Plano, I'm in Richardson, but out in Plano, they have a community watch that have patrol cars that go around with notepads. They have no police powers. They just have their assigned duties kind of thing, and they go around and they report on stuff. So there's another thing we have to go after is their following. Is that they've got a following that 100% is on their side no matter what. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, we got that up here too in North Richland Hills. I saw they get a patrol vehicle, right?
Yeah,
and it says a volunteer. You know.
Yeah.
Not police officer, but like, you know.
Yeah, it's a plain white car.
Well, it does. I think it actually does say police officer. I want to find it and take a picture of it because it's so stupid. Mainly, sorry, I gotta unblock a few of these messages here. But yeah, I find it so stupid that you're putting these people in a position where they feel they have power. They even got little sirens up top and like little lights and shit. And I was like, you're giving these people fucking red and blue lights. You know, you're giving them a siren. You're giving them pretty much a police vehicle.
Right.
Right.
And that goes all straight to their head.
Yeah, it goes straight to their head. Yeah, because
that's why
I've seen them going up to like Starbucks trying to get like free coffee and shit. I'm like, You know that these fucking volunteer fucking police officers are fucking going around fucking just trying to steal get a whole bunch of free shit, like, oh, I'm police officer, da da da, and they wear a fucking fake police uniform with a fake little badge.
Well, how do we? Okay, so like, we understand the reason why we need cops, right? Is to go after people who are just simply not ready to join society and want to screw things up. They have an entitled sense of crap. They deserve what they steal, kind of thing. And so we definitely. I hope we can all agree that no police is not the right solution, because we see that with Chaz. And to me, I think freedom is the most important thing ever, right? If we had ultimate freedom, it would mean no justice, for no legal justice, I should say. You would have to have your own. You'd have to make your own justice. You're getting raped, tough luck. You're on your own, kind of thing. I mean, that is the case anyway. But without the forensics teams, without the investigators, crimes will go unsolved and things like that. So it's a hard thing to decide. Do we want old people and mentally challenged people to be protected under a system? Do we want, or do we want to say everybody's on their own, and if you're a paraplegic, then you better have good friends because there's no government to help you, kind of thing. These vexing questions,
Yeah, I mean, there's this whole situation here. I mean, like, in this situation, this is the reason why people say, well, we need to defund the police. We need to get rid of the police. We need. I say right away, we need to get rid of qualified immunity in every area around the world. I don't care who has it. You need it gone, because qualified immunity is what's giving these officers, leeway to, what is that thing? The ignorance of the law is no excuse, unless if you're a cop, because
yeah, you should not be ignorant of the law if you're a cop. That should never be an excuse.
Right.
Like,
so, if ignorance of the law is no excuse, so you'd go to jail because, oh, well, you did it by accident. Oh, I didn't know it was, I shouldn't be doing this. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Can I just go back? Sorry, I got to take you to jail.
Right. Oh,
Sorry,
you have to go to jail because you don't have proof of insurance. You've got insurance, but you don't have proof of insurance. We're going to take you to jail.
Right.
It's just like, you can look that up. Police can see if you've got an insurance and if you're registered right off the bat, but they don't. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm ranting because that happened to me, so I'm a little.
Well, it's a fishing expedition.
Yeah.
They wanted Elijah McClain to join them on that fishing expedition, and
I every time I see a person parking in the handicap spot, I get real mad. I get super pissed. Like, I have a video of this guy. He completely undeterred by my size and attitude. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And he's just like, "Who the hell is this little white guy?" And telling me, I was so angry because it was just like he had he was not at all deterred by me at all. It's just like, but I tell you, the way people just kind of ignore the fact that there are disabled people. I think that's what makes America, one of the reasons why it makes America so great is that we have these extremely important laws protecting the elderly and the disabled and stuff like that.
So I see I'm gonna put Veg Beauties here, her comment here. Now I agree with that. Cops don't prevent crimes; they perpetuate it. All right, and I do say that cops in general do not have to prevent crimes. Their job is to enforce law. That's their only job.
Yeah, you can't prevent crimes. That would be
that's their only job.
It'd be like a Minority Report thing. You have to actually commit a crime first.
Yeah. And their job is law enforcement. So while they're beating you, throwing you, chasing you, whatever, if they see you made one little slip up that's against the law, they're going to try and enforce it, even though they're breaking the same laws.
they follow you from your driveway only to stop you a mile later, turning into the middle lane instead of the immediate one. You know, it's just like, well, they didn't pull me over for that. They pulled me over because they wanted to search my car. Ridiculous.
I don't give them anything.
I live in a house that has a history. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? I realized that I kept hearing something knocking at my door. It's the freaking dog, dude. Dang, dude. What do you want, dude?
Well, I think since the topic is back to
get in.
Oh, puppy.
Go away then. She's being a brat.
I think his name was McClain.
Yeah, Elijah McClain.
Yeah, that's definitely a very tragic situation.
Yeah. Do you like? What do you think? Like, do you think they should have a policy in place at their department now due to that whole situation? Like, what do you think should change due to that whole situation? Because in the long run, a life was lost.
Right. Trouble is making sure that the pendulum doesn't swing too hard the other way. It's finding the middle ground, because what we've seen certainly with the Floyd incident is that it didn't matter what happened. It didn't matter at all what happened after that first 5-second clip came out. It didn't matter what the situation was. Those police officers were guilty before they were convicted, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And whether they were in the right or wrong, I think that we should do it appropriately, not with the mob justice kind of thing. So the mob justice is definitely the pendulum swinging too hard, and charging cops with crimes they didn't actually commit only makes it worse, because we're supposed to be going after cops that are not just committing crimes but abusing their power. And it's really hard to tell for now, for sure, especially without the freaking body cams. We don't know exactly what happened with Floyd. You know, I mean,
well, they do have the body cams. They just haven't released it.
They just haven't.
You know, so that's the thing is everybody's looking for on that. I think the Floyd situation, that clear the air, release the body cams. I think more transparency is key, right? The more transparent, if people are like, you murdered this man, and people are burning down half of America for it.
Yeah, and if it turns out he would have died anyway, because they're accusing Elijah for having that excitable whatever syndrome, right?
Right.
But he didn't show any symptoms at all that I could see, even though the videos were very short. We didn't see why he wound up on his side, but that position on his side is procedure for the excitable syndrome thing. So if it turns out that he was experiencing excitable whatever syndrome, and they gave him the injection, a lot of the times the injection still doesn't work and he dies anyway, you know, of heart complications. So it's just really strange. Although he was anemic, so that could have been the heart complications right there, you know. So, man, you know. But the Floyd situation, he certainly was exuding what looked like super strength. Of course, it was daytime too, so it was a lot easier to see. You know.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Floyd, because the only thing I know about the Floyd situation is there's 2 videos. One of him sitting down on the corner. The alleged, Gizmo, come on. The alleged, assault, or him, resisting, although there's no video footage of it. And then there's the video of the knee on the neck, right? For 8 minutes, whatever, right? And people saying, get off of the neck, killing that man, and him dying. So again,
though, that he was still able to lift his head off the ground, though.
There's 2 types of chokes out there. There's an air choke and a blood choke, or carotid choke. With a blood choke, you can actually feel yourself fading. No matter how much you lift your head or neck. Again, I take jiu-jitsu, so I know this. You can start passing out, and you can feel yourself passing out and losing consciousness, and eventually If you don't get the air that you need to your brain, you will die. You know, so there's two types of chokes. So the notion of, well, he's speaking so he can breathe is actually a myth. And there's a lot of people who say that, oh, he was speaking, he can breathe, whatever. That's actually a myth. If you're speaking, you can actually still be losing consciousness and still be out of breath or losing breath. Loss of blood or slowly, constricting your breath. So
it's a really good point. I didn't think of that.
There's two types of chokes out there. So again, the fact is that he was on the, and again, in jiu-jitsu, they teach you how to lay on somebody's, put a knee on somebody. So when I saw the knee on the neck, I was like, well, that's a choke. I'm looking at it. That's a choke. I'm looking at it. That's a carotid choke, pretty much. You're dying. You're losing air. You're going to go unconscious eventually. And when it came to, an air choke, that's if I was to put you in a guillotine or a chokehold, you're losing air, right? You can't. That's when you like someone's choking here. You can still talk. Oh man, I can't breathe.
Right.
Oh, man, it's hard to breathe.
That would be the one I was thinking of.
That's a choke. So, the fact is, they teach you stabilizing points. Shoulders are good stabilizing points, right? Because you want to make sure that you can't turn your body one way. Neck, that's a stabilizing point. But when you land on someone's neck, you're crushing, blood. Like, again, if you just go here on the side of your neck here, right here on the side of your neck, and press in, right? You should be able to feel a little sharp pain, right?
Yeah.
Right? If you press on that, you'll start to black out, if you hold on too long. Kids who used to do stupid games like that in the fucking, where they breathe all heavy and shit, that's the same thing. But another control area are the hips. You control the hips. Literally, if I pin down you on your left hip, you can't turn.
Right.
How you doing, my guy? Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Rick from Good Luck America, he was talking about how he would hog tie people, handcuff their feet to their hands, kind of thing, to kind of keep them from being able to hurt themselves or anyone else. So maybe we need to have more wrangling. Of course, that would look really bad. The optics of that would look really bad. But when I don't know, it's just how do you stop people from?
Well, it's like there's many things that can isolate somebody, right? And
incapacitate.
Yeah, you can incapacitate. Again, like the kid was 140 pounds, 5'6".
Yeah,
mean,
they could have lifted him up off the freaking ground.
Do you really believe that kid had superhuman strength?
That would be like me having I'm 120 something pounds. So just to give an idea, I would not be able to fight one cop, even with super strength. At least I think. I don't know. I don't know what my super strength is like.
Like if I was to come and fight with you guys, honestly, like you've seen me in person. Like I'm not. I look very small on camera.
Right.
But I'm.
Again, clothes so nobody can tell.
Yeah, I always wear baggy clothes. So I'm 6'2", 195 pounds. Right. If you think that Gas could take me in a one-on-one fight, he probably could. I mean, it's possible. I don't doubt that any size, matters in a fight. But eventually, sometimes it does play a big factor in it, So
yeah,
again,
especially with environmental weapons.
Yeah. So
we were fighting for real, without a ring. Anybody could win that, depending on the circumstances. But one-on-one, no, I'm not a very good fight. The only fight I've ever been in was I was fighting someone that was like, she was like my size but half my age, and she'd have kicked my ass if I didn't accidentally break her nose.
I'm gonna share that because Paul cracks me up.
I'm like, I don't know how to fight. Monkey. I had 2 Air Force MPS tried to throw me, drop but couldn't. Yeah, what is that called? The brick stance, where you're like, you're not gonna tip me over.
You cut out for a second. You're gonna have to repeat it.
Oh, I was saying, Monkey was saying people were trying to throw him, but he must have did that like dead man stance where, you know, you can't really can't knock me over kind of thing.
Yeah, if you go limp, if your body goes limp, really, it's kind of hard for people to throw you limp.
Well, the opposite of limp, the statue stance where it's like, you're not gonna knock me down.
What I do is
planted feet. Yeah, there we go. That's
what I do is I cable grip by the back of the neck, and I isolate an arm on the other side. And what I do is I drop to the ground with you. So even if you are, bricked, like he's saying, it's kind of hard to like take 90 pounds from your neck in your upper body and having it jump backwards and slam down to the ground with you. So
you want to headbutt together?
Yeah. So
that would actually that wouldn't hurt me so bad. It would hurt, but it would definitely hurt the other person more. Ow.
Nice.
Somebody mentioned earlier that I must get pulled over a lot. That police officers don't seem to that they would never leave me alone, but they actually do leave me alone. I very rarely have had bad interactions with police officers, even when they pull me over. Now that doesn't mean I didn't, but I remember I took a friend of mine home and I wasn't drinking, so I drove his car home and then I walked home. And police officer was like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm wearing my black trench coat, makeup, nail polish, and stuff like that. He's like, I go, "Oh, I just came back from the club, dropped off a friend, and now I'm walking home." And he was like, "Oh, all right, somebody called, you know." I was like, yeah, I understand. That's what I look like.
Yeah, I know. Like, let me look up another Elijah McClain thing here.
Holy crap! I just missed a bunch of.
But yeah, I enjoy, guys. I enjoy these discussions. I really do. These are real nice. Have you guys come out here? I enjoy Paul because he's always cracking me up. With his little jokes, his little, 1-2 combos that he throws out there.
Yeah, crackhead. Yeah, this is to block out the alien and government rays from being able to read my mind. I don't think it would work though. I think legitimately it would have to be like an actual Faraday. With like the little holes. Hey, that actually would look pretty cool. What do you guys think? Like a little skin cap of Faraday, and then put wire on top of it. That would be awesome. I'd be like a real crazy person instead of just well, I guess I'm already.
Man, I can't even find it. There was another video of the Elijah McClain incident where I think it was a district attorney, maybe the district attorney, or maybe even the police chief. I'm not even sure. They basically said, "Oh, he was going to die regardless." So,
Oh, it would have to be grounded, huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I guess the Faraday would have to be ungrounded, which means that it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
What does the crystal do? To me, it doesn't do anything, but it's real pretty, huh? Hang on, let's concentrate on this. G-Tag, if you can hear it, we can't.
1 second.
Since I'm wearing rubber shoes, I'm not grounded. If I'm barefoot, maybe, but other than that, I would have to stick a rod in the ground.
All right, so I think I found it here. It should play sound in just a second. Hold on. So this was of the governor's reaction or response, basically due to the whole George Floyd, protests going on and everything else going on, that they're now starting to take action 10 months after the fact. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Today, amid a nationwide outcry for an investigation into the death of Elijah McClain, Governor Jared Polis directed the Attorney General's office to investigate whether criminal charges should be filed against anyone involved in the 23-year-old's death. In an exclusive interview tonight, I asked the governor about his decision and why now, 10 months after McClain's death.
People clearly lack confidence in the decision not to prosecute. And I share the skepticism. I think the people of Colorado very clearly need to have a process that they're confident in. I need to have a process that I'm confident in. I think we need a prosecutor like Phil Weiser, in this case, to take another look at the evidence, to gather more if necessary, to look at the results of the Aurora independent investigation, which will just be beginning in the coming days and months, and reach an impartial decision.
McClain, as you know, was stopped by police after someone thought he was suspicious. He was walking home from a convenience store. This was last August. After a struggle, McClain wound up on the ground. And when emergency crews got on scene, they administered ketamine to calm him down. And he later died. None of the officers were charged. District Attorney Dave Young stands by that decision. And things got a little heated tonight when confronted about that choice with CNN's Chris Cuomo.
Are you that officers shouldn't respond to 911 calls? And you should know, don't know already, that the forensic autopsy report cannot determine the cause of death of Mr. McClain. So how in the world I file homicide charges when I can't prove that critical element beyond a reasonable doubt, the cause of death?
Now, if the investigation reveals charges are warranted, Phil.
You gotta love that. That's pretty much the end of it. Cuomo was saying basically, he's not going to press charges because he can't find the root cause of the death.
That is bizarre to me. If he had a heart attack and then died 6 days later,
due to the drugs and the actions administered to him,
Well, 6 days later whatever they injected him with would have killed him then. Because
he had a heart attack. He had a heart attack right then. He went flat on scene. His heart stopped on scene. And then he went into
well,
to
if he's anemic means low blood pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly,
I believe
makes
so.
your body temperature cold. That would have been a serious. At least it would have been a factor in dying 6 days later. The trouble is that people with the excitable syndrome, they will typically die a couple days later of completely random whatever. They can't determine it. That's a very common thing with the excitable syndrome. I just don't think that he was exhibiting excitable syndrome symptoms. Excitable syndrome people are like catatonic. They're not catatonic. They're amped, like Superman. He didn't seem to be like that in the store. So there's something fishy going on.
Yeah, I think it's really a cover up. You know, I mean, like in this situation, anyone justifying this shit needs to kill me. But yeah, like the fact that you know he was perfectly fine going to the store, he's perfectly fine on the way back, and then all these problems somehow occurred at once. Oh, he was on the verge of death. When the cops showed up, or whenever the EMT showed up. Obviously, there was a huge factor within that interaction that caused this man to die. Was it the ketamine? Was it them doing a karate choke on
I
him?
certainly would be pretty upset
Yeah.
being injected with something.
Was it the karate choke? Was it making him pass out and then him waking up vomiting? And then you're like, let's inject him with ketamine.
Yeah, it's just
So
the vomiting is also strange. Of course, that can happen from extreme stress. You know. No, the paramedics gave him the ketamine.
Yeah.
He nearly killed me in December. Yeah. What? He just wasn't fast. Oh, I'm sorry. I read two comments together. He nearly killed you last year. Ooh, jeez. Paramedics. The thing I was also watching was that there's some strange behavior going on with the police officers too. Like they got in trouble for I guess making fun of or poking fun at Elijah's death by reenacting the chokehold.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, and they got in big trouble. 3 people got fired, I think it was. I don't know if they were the arresting officers, but I know that that's the attitude though. Like the us versus them mentality. And what's even worse about that is that they're comfortable around their own, right? And anybody is comfortable around their own, and they'll say those things around each other as a coping thing. I'm guessing. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the brotherhood aspect of being a police officer, but this candid, it's what's the solution? Are we supposed to make them robots? Or can they be emotionless? It really comes down to what is their attitude towards the public. Like, are they just labeling everyone as criminals?
I think the main problem is that there's no empathy. Did you know that? And this is what I've been witnessing. Okay, a cop can shoot somebody 9 times, get put on administrative leave, and just be investigated. And people are like, well, he felt in danger. We'll let that slide. But a cop can go in there and say, well, "You're a fucking cunt," and guess what? Fired right on the spot. Right? One, you're having a bad day, you kill somebody. The other one, you're having a bad day, you call them a bad name. Ooh, yeah. Right? Why are we making it to where, killing someone is minor and just thrown out? Pew pew, poo poo, we poo poo on that, whatever. But, you call someone a cunt, you call someone a dick outside of their name, oh, well, we got to fire you. Why are we putting it on that type of, scale of punishment? I don't get that. And that's actual fact. I mean, like,
I missed the good point.
Oh, you were probably on the phone, huh? So, what happened? There's videos showing where an officer shoots a person 9 times, and gets put on administrative leave, pretty much a vacation, until everything rolls over. They're healthy enough to come back to work and everything's fine. But then there's also a video of an officer calling someone a cunt or a bitch or, something outside their name, fired on the spot. Right?
Right.
Why is the scale so different compared to killing someone and being put on what I consider a paid vacation compared to and it's the opposite. You're fired because you called that person a cunt.
Yeah. It's the optics, because shooting someone 9 times and having an investigation done is is certainly something entirely different from having direct evidence of a police officer mocking someone's death, whether they be a criminal or not. Pedophile, doesn't matter who they are, they should have a strict, they do have a strict policy on, you better not make us look bad, because we're going to come after you. It's actually one of the same reasons why all these cops that have come out recently in support of police reform, saying that this is wrong and stuff like that, police officers getting fired for saying we shouldn't be out there putting our knees on people, and the reason they get fired is not because they did anything wrong or that they said something wrong. It's that they said anything that puts them in a bad light, and that has to go too, because they're worried about optics. They're worried about optics while people are being murdered in the streets by police officers.
Yeah.
This is like ridiculous. Like, no, don't say anything, guys. Don't point it out.
Yeah. Again, like, who was it? As I said, the Officer Tatum guy. He's mad because they enacted a Breonna Taylor law where Breonna Taylor got shot and killed during a no-knock raid.
Yeah.
And they searched the house.
How are we going to catch all the criminals if we can't just arrest anybody?
Right. So he's mad because they made no-knock raids illegal in general. You can't do that no more. Right? And you know what? He's saying, well, we need no-knock raids. Well, what happens when the pedophile has all the porn on his computer, and we're supposed to just knock on his door and like, hey, Mr. Pedophile man, we're here to come into your house. Can we come into your house real quick? And it's like, if you have the warrant, once you knock on the door, guess what? You knocked on the door. Enter the fucking house now.
If you know he's a pedophile, you've already got evidence.
Right. You already got evidence.
That's evidence.
Right. So it's like, and I've even said this, I told them, I said, I don't agree with his stance because, again, I can understand if you want to catch somebody in the act of doing something, but you've already stated, you already have all the evidence. You already have all the details to get the warrant, and you already have all the information you need to make an arrest. So why do you need more information?
I'd add one thing to that. Sojourner in a foreign land, and say that that whatever liability has to come out of their pocket. And that's a big thing, actually, about spending, guys, is that we got these policies in some of these left-leaning cities where they just catch and release everybody. You robbed somebody at gunpoint, they're just going to let you go. So a lot of reform doesn't just have to be with police; it also has to be with the catch and release programs they got. Police don't want to freaking do anything if they're just gonna be let go again, or at least the decent police, the ones that want to do the right thing.
Right. But yeah, like I was saying with the
gotta be going here.
No problem. Sorry. I was saying with the Breonna Taylor thing, he was mad because you can't catch everybody that you want to catch. And it's like, and he says
Constitution.
And he says, well, I mean, like, okay, yeah, a few innocent people die in the situation, but I mean, like, that's going to happen anywhere. And it's like, that's the problem, is that innocent people are dying.
Yeah.
Your innocent people are dying in situations where they shouldn't have to die. Elijah McClain didn't have to die. Breonna Taylor didn't have to die. Why are we going?
All the pets didn't have to die either. Let's not forget about our puppies.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of people dying due to
my dad actually, when he started taking care of dogs, he actually took his home alarm, turned it off, because he didn't want the police showing up to a malfunction in the alarm system and just shoot the dogs.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of crap that we have to do, is that we're leaving our houses vulnerable to freaking robbers because we're afraid our dogs are going to get killed by the police.
Yeah, there was a video a few years back, maybe last year, I'm not sure, guy, he had a video camera facing his backyard, and the officers hopping the fence, right? Hops the back of the fence, hops into the guy's yard. The dog chases someone in his home, right? In his backyard, and the officer shoots him. Bang, bang. Shoots him dead. They had to call the homeowner and wait for him to arrive to find out this officer killed your dog. Our bad.
Yeah.
You know, our bad. Oops. And he's like, well, what the fuck?
I saw that video, right, where he's like, you killed my dog, you know, and he's like confronting them.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
that was
what, like,
a three-legged chihuahua.
What were you doing? Why were you in my backyard? Who told you to go in my backyard? Why would you shoot my dog?
And not only
Because
that, they're family members.
Yeah.
Pets are family members, and then they're like, oh, if you kill a cop dog, it's like killing a police officer. It's like double standard much. I actually really do have to go, guys.
It's actually 9:30. We've already been having this discussion for a good hour and a half. But yeah, you got anything else you want to say before you head out?
Other than just have a great day, guys, and I can't wait till next time.
All right, take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. See ya.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna play this last video here.
3 police officers were fired and 1 more has resigned over selfies taken near the memorial site for Elijah McClain, including one that appears to show a reenactment of the chokehold used on McClain before his death. ABC's Clayton Sandell joins us from Aurora, Colorado with the outrage from McClain's family. Clayton, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. They are cleaning up here from a protest overnight. Protesters marched to this Aurora police station behind me here, demanding justice for Elijah McClain. But this morning, the Aurora Police Department finds itself in the middle of a brand new public relations disaster. Hundreds of protesters demanding justice for Elijah McClain taking to the streets of Aurora, Colorado overnight.
Say his name! Elijah McClain! Say his name! Elijah McClain!
Amid growing anger over a cruel new twist.
This photo, they are actually reenacting. Is this a good down? Yeah, they're actually reenacting a carotid control hold.
3 officers in selfies, smiling and simulating the chokehold used on Elijah McClain 2 months after the 23-year-old massage therapist and violinist died after a confrontation with other officers. The police union says the chief rushed to judgment. Erica Marrero and Kyle Dietrich were fired. Officer Jaron Jones resigned.
It's reprehensible, and that's why they no longer work here.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Last August, a 911 caller reported a suspicious man in a ski mask. McClain's family says he wore it because of a blood condition that made him feel cold.
Stop tensing up. Stop. Relax.
Officers used a carotid chokehold to subdue McClain as he pleaded for his life.
I wasn't trying to do that. I can't breathe correctly because...
Police say McClain tried to grab Officer Jason Rosenblatt's gun. When Rosenblatt later received this picture and a text message, he replied, "Ha ha." He was also fired.
There was absolutely nothing funny.
He was also
Paramedic
fired.
injected McClain with a heavy sedative, 2 heart attacks, and 3 days later, he died, having committed no crime.
All of the officers who are involved should be fired, and they should be fired and not able to be hired in any other department where they will continue to kill.
Now, the officers that confronted McClain last summer were cleared by the local DA, but now the Colorado Attorney General has opened a new investigation.
Real quick.
The FBI and the Department of Justice both say they're looking into the case for possible civil rights violations. Eva?
Clayton's handout boards, thank you.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if there's an echo or not. Oh, it's because I'm on the other thing too. Sorry. Oh, I was saying real quick. I wanted to throw out the idea out there again, and say, what do you guys think about protesting by picking up trash? And I have to say it quickly because I really do got to go. But G-Tag, you and I should really think about maybe trying that at some point. Going out with like a basket on the back with signs on it and a little picker-upper, like a little grabber thing, and like protest by picking up trash. What do you guys think?
I don't mind, picking up trash. Again, I always go down into downtown Dallas anyway, and help the homeless down there anyway. So
Right. No, that's why I'm asking you, because I think you'd be the perfect. I think you'd be the perfect person to ask. Just like I'm going to ask. But I do gotta go. I just wanted to throw that idea out there, guys, and hopefully it'll catch a little bit, because you imagine everybody out there burning the cities down trying to get something done. I think we should do something people like picking up trash. Maybe that'll hopefully get some kind of attention there. But we should think about it. I gotta go, guys.
all right, brother, take it easy. All right, that was gas. He always cracks me up. Take a garbage truck and throw the bad police in the back. But yeah, guys, as y'all seen, these situations aren't being taken lightly. Again, as the lady said, I believe that these officers should be fired and unable to be rehired, because a lot of people don't understand. Officers can get fired every month, every day, 100 times, and still get rehired. They need to take away their ability to be officers. As Elliot said, people need to start putting in complaints whenever they see officer wrongdoing, and making it to where it sticks for the person who they do violate their rights. That whenever that person does go into that lawsuit, that person loses their job. Okay. So again, if you're not doing your part to put in those complaints whenever you see wrongdoing or something now actually happening to you, you're actually just helping them get away with more. So, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. I had a good time, as y'all know. If you want to leave any donations, I don't accept donations, but you can always go to thorn.org. Again, that organization is called thorn.org. It was founded by Ashton Kutcher himself, which helps prevent human trafficking. So if you guys ever want to show me monetary support, that's the way to do it. I don't get any money from it, but I do appreciate the sentiment. But yeah, make sure you guys file complaints against officers who do wrongdoing to you, or to others, so that way you can go ahead and make sure whenever those individuals do take that stuff to trial, it's on their record. It's able to get them fired. Okay, do your part. Auditors can do their part, and we can all live happily ever after with some decent cops on the field instead of the tyrants who want to just murder somebody. But as I say all the time, guys, I love you. I hope you guys love me too. Love, peace, chicken grease. Praise to Allah, Allahu Akbar, everything else. Take it easy, guys. I'm outie.